Hey guys, this is V, and I'm going to teach you why RS signature value is going to be one of the most important numbers that you're going to be looking at when you're doing your scanning on Lyria. In this case, the RS signature value was 10,200, and what that meant was a lot of rocks. And as anybody who does any kind of mining on Lyria knows, if it's more than one rock on Lyria, it's always Quantanium. So let's go ahead and get started. So, if you recall, a couple patches back, we used to be able to have our scouts kind of zooming at very high velocities over Lyria, locating Quantanium clusters and doublers in order to provide mining nodes for our operations. And if everything holds up, from what I'm seeing in 3.18, the scanning mechanics are going to be even better than they were during that patch. The last patch, you actually couldn't do this, but it looks like it's actually kind of back. And that's because the RS signature value is pretty much everything you need to know. Now, I come out of Quantum here. I trim my velocity. I like to go between 300 and 500 or so. And I set my scan angle to around 90. You can toggle it between 180 and 90, whatever you're comfortable with. And I did during this flight, but I can tell you that I settled in on around 90 being what I think is right. So as you can see here, as we approach the opportunity markers, there's a RS signature value that is located on the right-hand side of the UI. So here, let me demonstrate. I'm going to send out a ping. I'm going to get an opportunity marker, and then the RS signature value is going to be drawn on the right-hand side of the UI, and an RS signature value of 1700 equals one rock. So 1700 is one rock, 3400 is two rocks, and anything north of 1700, in this particular case, two rocks or more, is always going to be Quantanium, except for there are gems. Gems RS signature value for one rock is 620. So as we're cruising along here on Lyria, pinging away, going ahead and moving your cursor over the opportunity marker, you're going to get RS signature values. And so in many cases, if the server's kind of snappy and happy, you don't even need to be right over the opportunity marker, like perfectly on top of it. If you kind of get close to it, it's going to give you the value. So it's great. You can zoom right along and get this. So here we are, we're cruising along, and I just kind of keep pinging and looking at different RS signature values, and I'm looking for anything that's going to be 3400, factors of 1700 basically and above as I look for Quantanium. But I did get a close opportunity marker show up, and I decided to stop and take a look at it, and sure enough, you can see here the RS signature value on this is 620. And 620 is going to be one gem. And that's the beauty. That's how fast you're going to be able to locate resource nodes on Lyria. You can actually practice your low flying, get your scouts back out there, going as fast as they feel comfortable with, as long as you have a kind of a reasonably snappy server. You can see I actually overflew the gems below the Pisces here. Kind of roll her over, and sure enough, there's the single rock. So our signature values that are not a factor of 1700, like if they're 3400 or 10,200 or whatever, those are going to be clusters or doublers if it's 3400. If it's kind of value of like 60 or 20 or something along those lines, and it's less, or right around 5,000 or so, it's going to be gems. So, for instance, 620, 1240, 1860, those are going to be kind of your factors that are going to let you know with the RS signature value what it is you're looking at. So 3400 RS signature value here, of course, equals doublers. And that's how fast you're able to locate resources on Lyria. In this half hour that I did fly around on Lyria, I located about, I think, 8 doublers and 1 cluster. So I set out to kind of be out here for about a half hour, taking a look at the RS signature values, taking some video for the for the presentation here, but also just trying to get a rough idea of how quickly I could locate Quantanium. And I found, like I said, 8 nodes in one cluster. So 8 doublers in one cluster as I was out here. And it is fun. I mean, I will say, you can just boogie along here, ping, get opportunity markers. You don't even have to get that crazy close with your cursor in order to get the RS signature. You can see in this particular case, I had an interesting RS signature value of 1860. I know as I approach that with the factors of 620, that's going to be 3 gems. And they're going to appear right here on the ridge. Bing, there they are. And off we go. So, it's a wonderful thing. I think this last in 317.4, we weren't able to do this Lyria kind of speed scanning, but it looks like it's kind of back, and it's also in a slightly better place. As you see here, as I kind of move over the different opportunity markers, it absolutely is very snappy if the server is kind of snappy. So I did have some times when I sent out a ping and I didn't get opportunity markers. There were, it is 318, it's the PTU. It can, there can be some lag, but if you're on a halfway decent server, you absolutely get good feedback fairly quickly. Not even, like I said, you don't even need to have the cursor right on the opportunity marker in many cases, just kind of in the ballpark or close. So, yeah, this has been great. This was absolutely so much fun. Just kind of barreling along, locating the nodes, and finding what we're looking for. Now there's 4960. That's 8 gems. See, if it's, once again, if it's got like a 900 or a 700 or 100 value, it's going to be rocks. If it's got like a 60 or a 20 or a 40 or whatever in it, it's going to be gems. And so that's ended up being 8 Dolivine down there, and I took a close look, and I just kind of kept it moving. So yeah, as we were cruising along here, you can see there's 3,400. That's going to be doublers. Now, occasionally there can be where 2 rocks are fairly close to each other, but not close enough to be Quantanium. I did see that once or twice, where I did get a 3,400 value, and it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. But, for the most part, that's the way it worked before as well, when you were kind of pinging and getting kind of the glowing diamonds before. So here's an 8,500 signature value. And so an 8,500 signature value is going to be 5 rocks. And I'm going to go ahead and approach that now, and we'll take a look. So I thought it would be also very good for you to know you actually can get the scan results back pretty quickly. Now, you don't see me do it here. One thing that I did do to kind of kickstart the scanning is you can actually shoot the rocks, and that's kind of an old trick as well. Now notice you get the quick scan. If you get that quick scanning like right above the UI and it doesn't scan, it's not doing it. But if you actually push and hold, you got to put your cursor right over the rock. If you get that long scanning where it says the flashing red scanning quite a bit at the top, you're going to get your scan results, and that's an important thing. Now, when you take a look, now nothing in this cluster actually had too much value in it. That was a 6%er there, and I think this is kind of a blue cap, a 2%er here. But notice I have my cursor directly over the rock, and I'm getting, doing a long scan on it and getting my scan results. So you're getting your overview results on the left-hand side of the UI, and you're getting your contents, what it's carrying, on the right-hand side of the UI. So that was it. I really just wanted to say thank you all. I'm really enjoying 3.18, and now, especially now that the mining stuff is happening. So I will see you all around the verse.